Here's something you've probably never admitted out loud. You have a secret playlist, the one you only listen to when it's dark and you're alone. During the day, these songs feel almost ordinary, but when the sun goes down and the world gets quiet, the same melody that barely registered during your commute suddenly makes your chest tighten. Every note lands differently. Every lyric feels like it was written specifically for you, in this exact moment, in this exact darkness. You've probably wondered if this makes you dramatic, if other people experience music this way, or if you're just too sensitive. Maybe you've even felt embarrassed about how much certain songs affect you at night, like you're indulging in something you shouldn't. You might have a song you've listened to 300 times in the dark, but you'd never play it out loud in front of anyone else. But I'm here to tell you that what you're experiencing isn't drama, it's neuroscience. Your brain is fundamentally different at night, and the way it processes music changes in profound ways. Today, we're going to look at why music sounds better when the sun goes down, and what this reveals about how your mind works. To understand why nighttime listening feels so different, we need to look at what's happening inside your skull when the rest of the world goes quiet. Your brain operates on a 24-hour cycle called your circadian rhythm. During the day, your prefrontal cortex, the analytical part of your brain, is running at full capacity. You're in problem-solving mode. Your mind is filtering, judging, categorizing. When you hear music during the day, your brain is simultaneously processing a dozen other inputs. But at night, something shifts. As darkness falls, your prefrontal cortex begins to power down. This is your brain's way of transitioning from doing mode to being mode. And when that analytical filter drops, your emotional centers step forward. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that processes emotion, doesn't sleep. Research in chronobiology shows that emotional processing actually intensifies after dark. When you listen to music at night, you're not just hearing the notes with less distraction, you're hearing them with less defense. Your brain's guard is down. This is why a song that barely registers during your morning commute can make you cry at midnight. Your emotional circuitry is fully online, and your protective filters are offline. There's another neurochemical shift happening that changes everything. During daylight hours, your brain produces serotonin, the neurotransmitter that keeps you alert, focused, and emotionally regulated. Serotonin is like the supervisor in your brain's factory, making sure everything runs smoothly. But as night falls, your brain converts serotonin into melatonin. Melatonin doesn't just make you sleepy, it fundamentally alters your state of consciousness. Under the influence of melatonin, your brain enters what neuroscientists call a hypnagogic state. This is the threshold between waking and sleeping, and in this state, your mind becomes more receptive to abstract processing. Your hippocampus, the memory center, begins to replay the day's experiences, filing them away. When music enters this equation, something magical happens. The song you're hearing isn't just processed as sound, it becomes woven into the memory consolidation process. This is why certain songs become permanently associated with specific life periods. You weren't just listening to that album during your breakup, you were listening to it during hundreds of nights when your brain was in memory processing mode. The music became the soundtrack to your brain's attempt to make sense of pain. Your hippocampus encoded the melody alongside the emotion, and now they're inseparable. But there's something even deeper happening here. When you close your eyes or sit in a dark room, your brain doesn't just stop processing visual information. Your sensory cortex actively reallocates resources. The processing power that would normally go to your visual cortex gets redistributed to your auditory cortex. Brain imaging studies show that in darkness, your auditory processing amplifies. During the day, you're recording the world in stereo, sight and sound competing for bandwidth. At night, you're suddenly recording in mono, and your brain turns up the gain on your ears. You hear details you've never noticed before, that subtle breath the singer takes, the way the bass resonates just slightly behind the beat. Your auditory cortex isn't just hearing these elements, it's savoring them. This is called sensory compensation. When you remove visual input, your brain becomes a more sophisticated listener. Every night, when you put on your headphones in the dark, you're temporarily giving yourself a superpower. Now, we need to talk about what happens to your sense of self at night, because this is where the psychology gets really interesting. During the day, you exist in what psychologists call your social self. You're playing a role. You're the employee, the friend, the responsible adult. Your ego boundaries are firm. You know where you end and the world begins. But at night, especially in the quiet and darkness of your bedroom, those boundaries soften. You enter what researchers call the oceanic state, a feeling of merging with something larger than yourself. When you listen to music in this state, you're not observing the song from a distance. You're dissolving into it. Your sense of separation between yourself and the music breaks down. This is why nighttime listening can feel so intensely intimate. You're not just hearing the artist's emotion, you're temporarily becoming it. Your mirror neurons, the ones that allow you to empathize, are firing without the daytime inhibition that usually keeps you from being overwhelmed. This is not weakness. This is your brain's way of processing emotion in a safe, private space. You're doing emotional homework. You're allowing yourself to feel things that would be too disruptive to feel during the day. Music becomes the container for this work, and there is one more element, the ritual of nighttime listening. When you repeat a behavior in a specific context, your brain creates an association. If you've been listening to music at night for years, you've trained your brain to enter a specific state when that ritual begins. The moment you put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and press play, your nervous system begins to relax. You're signaling to your body, this is a safe space to feel. This is why certain songs become nighttime songs. Your brain has encoded them as part of this ritual. They're the key that unlocks your private emotional space. So what do you do with this understanding? First, stop feeling guilty about it. If you stay up too late listening to music, you don't have insomnia or poor discipline. You have a nighttime processing practice. Your brain needs this time to metabolize the day's emotions. Honor this need instead of fighting it. Second, curate intentionally. Create a specific nighttime playlist that matches the emotional work you need to do. If you need to process sadness, choose music in minor keys with slower tempos. If you need comfort, choose songs with warm vocals. You're not escaping your feelings, you're conducting them. Third, protect the ritual. Invest in good headphones. Turn off screens. Let your eyes rest in darkness so your auditory cortex can fully activate. This isn't just about hearing music better. It's about being with yourself more completely. The next time you're lying in bed at 2 a.m. with your headphones on and someone tells you to just go to sleep, remember what's really happening. You're not wasting time. You're allowing your brain to do what it was designed to do in darkness. Process deeply, feel fully, and integrate your emotional experience. Your nighttime music ritual isn't a quirk, it's evidence of your emotional intelligence. Music doesn't actually sound better at night. You hear better at night. You feel better at night. And the music you choose is the bridge between who you are during the day and who you become when no one's watching. That's not dramatic, that's deeply, beautifully human. And if you've ever wondered why certain songs make you cry, or why you can't listen to some music without feeling transported to a specific moment in your past, those are the videos to watch next. We're building a library of music psychology that helps you understand yourself through your relationship with sound. Subscribe to explore more. I'll see you in the next one.